This is the DiPietro, Canty, and Rothenberg podcast.
I'm a big star, you know.
Listen live weekday mornings from 5 to 8 a.m. on 98.7 ESPN in New York, the ESPN app, the TuneIn app, or on your smart speaker.
Hey, Alexa, play ESPN New York 98.7.
DCR.
I'm not pleased that you're personally going through this, but overall, that the Yankees blew a 5-run lead, I found that to be enjoyable.
You've got to be kidding me! 6-run! Bottom half of the ninth! Altuve's done it again!
And then he gets half naked, just get naked.
The tattoo, the writing on his chest,
That's a nothing.
it doesn't seem like something that you'd be ashamed
You think his
to
wife
show
would say,
off.
don't let them see that? He looked
No.
terrific. If I looked like that, I'd never put a shirt. I wear a swim shirt.
This is DCR.
There's no chance you wear a swim shirt.
No.
Abandon it altogether.
No, I wouldn't even wear pants. Why wear pants?
On 98.7 ESPN.
All right, the big 6 o'clock hour, DCR with you, 98.7 ESPN. Now, Canty, I had to get involved with the kids yesterday right after the show. I'm sure you were great on KJZ. Did you ask why Han is sitting in a different chair at this point?
Dave, I didn't get a chance to ask the question that you wanted me to ask. I was too busy arguing with Keyshawn Johnson about why Aaron Rodgers should be in his top 10 list of quarterbacks, because I thought his reason for not including him was absolutely ridiculous.
Hang on a minute. Keyshawn doesn't have Aaron Rodgers in his top 10?
No, he doesn't. And his logic was because that he wasn't sure whether or not Aaron Rodgers would play in 2021, which I think is absolutely ridiculous to suggest that there's a possibility that he won't.
Doesn't matter whether he plays or not. He's still a top 10 quarterback in the league.
Well, I think this is about projecting the top 10 quarterback performers in 2021.
Right.
I think that's what it's about. That was
And
the premise
Keyshawn
of
doesn't think
Jeremy
he's gonna
Fowler's
play?
list. Yeah, Keyshawn doesn't think that Aaron Rodgers is going to play.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So we still don't know why Han is sitting on the right.
Still don't know why. I mean, I was busy. You know, when you start arguing with Keyshawn,
I
that can go
understand.
on for, yeah, exactly.
What, was it heated?
It was a little heated. I mean, Key was a little chippy yesterday. I mean, when I jumped on, he was busy going back and forth with Jay Will. So, I mean, it's just, I don't know. Key was on one yesterday.
No, but Jay Will's turned into a shock jock is what Jay Will is now.
Uh-oh.
He's a
Here we
shock
go.
jock. Listen,
Well, what did he
in
do
all
that makes
fairness,
him shock jockish to you?
well, I mean, he's just taught taking his face off, which is good. I mean, it's just fine. I mean, that's what I guess trying to get people to talk. But it was good. I mean, I listened to it yesterday with Canty. Of course, I tuned in. And, before Canty even got on, they were going back and forth. And Canty was kind of just, I was like, are they going to put Chris on? It was 8:15. Then it was like 8:20.
Exactly. I was all
So I left. Chris had
When
no
did
time to
when
ask
did
the
you get
question.
on?
I got on, I think it was like 8:15. I was supposed to be on at like 8:10, and they went 5 minutes over just because Key and Jay Will were busy going at it.
But it was good. I mean, it was really good. I mean, in all fairness, the Key though. Well, I'm probably going to be.
You're going to defend not having Rodgers in the top 10?
No, I'm not defending it. But he also, he didn't have Deshaun Watson on because no one knows. His whole premise for not having him on was I don't know if he's going to play or not. And Deshaun Watson, who knows what's going to happen with that?
But I think Deshaun, at least in my opinion, Deshaun Watson is a lot more up in the air than Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
I think Aaron Rodgers is going to play.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson's situation is not completely in Deshaun Watson's control. Like the NFL and law enforcement is going to have something to say about it. With Aaron Rodgers, if he wants to play, all he has to do is report. Like that's easy. The
I just
Packers
find it hard
aren't
to
going to
believe
say
that
he
at
can't
37
play.
years old, Aaron Rodgers decides, having gone to back-to-back NFC championship games, the last one at home, you know what, I'm not going to play this season. I find it very difficult to believe that.
Yeah, he's not giving away his age 38 season, Dave. Not knowing how much longer he has to play at this level, coming off of an MVP year, he's not doing that. He's not doing it.
Yeah, find it hard to believe. All right, so Garrett Cole spoke yesterday. Let's take a listen to the Yankees ace, who was just phenomenal on Saturday night, throwing that 129-pitch shutout against the Astros. Here is Garrett Cole. We can improve, and I think we all agree with this. We can improve on the first half that we just had.
So far, I don't think we've played up to our potential. I think we want to focus on some of the things that happened in the first half and try to make them better. I think we have enough time to ultimately execute our goal. So we're looking forward to those opportunities coming ahead.
Well, that's very generic. Doesn't say much there. I don't know that they have a lot of time left, though. They better get rolling right out of the All-Star break.
Yeah, but as bad as it is, when you look at where they're at, and I get it, they haven't had much success in the AL East. We'll find out. This is Dave Rothenberg style. You're going to get your temperature checked right out of the gate once this all
right out of the gate.
over.
That's right. Rectal temperature taken.
Look at where they're at in the wild card standings. I mean, it's not that terrible. I mean, as bad as it's been, it's not
great.
It's not insurmountable, though.
Yeah, I mean, they're 3 games back in the loss column. I mean, it's not awful. I mean, you don't feel like they could have had a worse first half and then only 3 games out in the loss column of a wild card.
It's not awful. You also have a bunch of teams to leapfrog. Listen, you're right. If they get hot, can they get the second wild card? Absolutely. But, I mean, to be where they are is stunning right now. Stunning that they're this pedestrian.
You're talking about a team that was supposed to be one of the best off. I mean, they've been.
Their over-under was what?
I mean, they were supposed to be the best team in the American League.
It was up there. I mean, it was right around 100 wins.
Right.
Like
they're not going to get anywhere near 100 wins this year.
Yeah.
No, they're not. Listen, here's the thing, though, Dave, with them, is you had a team that was supposed to be the best team in the American League, and outside of last season, and maybe we should put more stock in what happened last season in the 60-game season, I mean, they've been offensively one of the best teams in baseball. So right now, 3 games out in the loss column, and you're looking at a team that their run differential is +1. +1. And then
feels like it's the definition of mediocre.
Which is what they've been. I mean, that's really what they've been. They've had some good. They've had a lot of bad. And whenever they give you some of the good, it's followed up by
they rip it away.
It's by the bad. I mean, it really has been a roller coaster. I mean, you got the 23-9, then bad, and then you had the 7-2, then you get 2-7, and then you feel like you're going into the break, sweeping the Astros 6-1 headed into the break, and then that game happens. And it sucks the life out of you as a Yankees fan again.
It was absolutely brutal. All right, but he's optimistic. He thinks in the second half of the season they can throw a huge punch. We'll call it a haymaker.
I have a lot of confidence in us. Certainly at this point in the first half of the season, we've learned how to take a punch pretty good. People have landed quite a few of them. So, if we can defend a few of those in the second half, learn to throw, work on our jab a little bit, work on our haymaker. Certainly building up some of that toughness and that resiliency through some of the challenges that we've had will only benefit us. We have plenty of talent in the room, I think. Not that Brian's always working to try to get us better, because that's just our MO, here, and that's what we try to do. But I mean, I got to believe. I got no other choice, so I do. Yeah.
He believes. I don't know that a lot of Yankee fans believe at this point, though.
No, they haven't shown us anything to make us believe that this team is capable of being able to punch back. I mean, I will agree with them. They've taken a lot of punches. I mean, even if you look at the last couple of weeks, that brutal loss against the Angels, Will Chapman melted down, and then you saw what happened on Sunday with the Astros with Chad Green. I mean, it's been some really bad losses, and I don't have the confidence that this team is going to all of a sudden flip a switch and get this thing turned around. Like, I mean, I don't understand why the offense isn't producing at the level that we all projected that it would. Like, the same guys are there. I don't understand why they can't be more consistent in that regard. Like, with the pitching, I understand it, okay? Corey Kluber's out of the rotation. He's got an injury he's dealing with. You've seen what's going on with the bullpen, Zach Britton, and then Chapman, maybe with the sticky stuff affecting him a little more than we thought it would. I can understand those. But why has the offense not been as productive as it's been in the 3 seasons or 4 seasons prior? Like, that's the part of it that I can't figure out. And unless the Yankees all of a sudden figure that out and show me that series in, series out, I'm not going to buy into this team. I'm just not.
I think they're very difficult to buy into, and it's time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. And, maybe to answer the question a little bit, Rick, is the players you're counting on. I mean, Gleyber Torres is, I don't know what's happened to this guy. This is not the same player that we've seen. LeMahieu is not the same player that we've seen. Brett Gardner's a guy that you should not rely on day in and day out. So you don't have a center fielder at all. So, I mean, I know Chris asked the question. I think we have some answers of why they've struggled offensively. The guys you're counting on have been bad, many of them.
Yeah, they've been bad. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And sometimes in baseball, I mean, you have a season where, you have a handful of guys in your lineup that just don't have good years. And it feels like you're in the midst of one of those years right now with the Yankees. Outside of Aaron Judge, position player-wise, outside of Aaron Judge, I mean, you tell me.
Has anybody exceeded expectations outside of Aaron Judge this year?
On the Yankees, no. At the moment, no.
No.
DJ LeMahieu hasn't been the same player that we've seen.
Stanton has not outdone what you thought he would do. Torres has underperformed.
Yeah, especially with the power numbers. I mean, the other thing, too, is, you're putting Gardner out in center field every game, and you got Tim LeCastro in left field.
Which is just a disaster.
I mean, that's not what you expected to have in your outfield.
I mean, is there a worse left field, center field combination in all of baseball than LeCastro and Gardner?
Offensively right now?
Yes.
I would have to look, but that's...
I mean, come on.
No.
But here's the thing. Before it was LeCastro and Gardner, it was Hicks and Frazier, and they weren't much better.
No.
They really weren't.
No,
I mean, never in my
Frazier.
wildest dreams, or I guess my worst nightmares, did I think the Yankees would be 23rd in runs scored this year at the All-Star break. 23rd? Nobody projected that. Nobody predicted that. The offense has been really, really bad. And a lot of the guys that you came into the season relying on are still there. They're still healthy. They're just not contributing. They're not producing. How do you explain that?
I don't know if you can explain it. I mean, it's one of those years right now where guys are underachieving.
So how does it get better? Other than just you believe in the back of the baseball card that guys wind up doing what the average says they're going to do, why would you believe that this gets better in the second half?
Well, I don't know if you can believe. I mean, that's all. I mean, that you're resting on past performance is what you're doing. I mean, it's a lot of the same stuff we're saying about the Mets. I mean, Francisco Lindor didn't have a good season last season, and he hasn't had a good first half.
No, but you know what? It's a lot easier to deal with when the Mets are 3.5 games up in first.
Exactly right. But they're a product of being in that division, which is fine. I'll take it. I don't care. I'm not going to complain about it. But that's what we're counting on with the Mets is, over the last however many seasons, they've been a better second half. But they've been a better second half team. But, I mean, as far as what you've seen in the first half from guys like Conforto, Lindor, I mean, you're just hoping that they play up to what we've seen. Can't guarantee it. There's no guarantee.
No, but you know what? If the Mets were in the position the Yankees were in, we'd destroy them as well. Lindor would be roasted if the Mets
he'd be roasted, but let's get one thing straight, though. The Mets didn't have the same kind of expectations that the Yankees had going into the season.
No, they did not. But if the Mets were scuffling and in the position the Yankees were in, we would be really hard on them. We're not, because they're in great position.
If the Mets were scuffling, though, I mean, Chris was the only one that picked the Mets to win the division. If the Mets were scuffling and had, dealt with, and offensively they have been scuffling. They haven't been good offensively, period. It hasn't. And they were 3 games out of a wild card with the whole second half of the season. I mean, yeah, we would be hard on them, but still, I mean, that was, okay, we'll get the wild card. Expectations were that the Yankees were going to be the best team in the American League.
Run away with the division.
Yeah, so, I mean, it wasn't the same thing with the Mets. We all thought the Mets were going to be good.
We also thought the Mets were going to be in a much better division than the Yankees.
A lot of people thought the NL East was going to be the best division in baseball.
Yeah, it's just not.
No, and especially now with Acuna being out.
No, that's terrible.
Yeah, it's not good for baseball. He's one of the best young baseball players, and forget young. He's one of the best baseball players in the game.
He's phenomenal, and they have him locked up forever. And he's the face of that franchise. It's a really tough loss.
Thanks for listening to the DiPietro, Canty, and Rothenberg podcast.
You're absolutely right.
Catch the show on demand wherever and whenever you want. Just subscribe to us, rate us, and review us wherever you get your podcasts.
Who do you think, Chris, is the most immature member of the show, including those two guys?
Why do you want to do that, Dave? You're putting me on the spot right now.
Well, no, I think it's fine. I don't think anybody's going to be. There's going to be no feelings.
I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. I would say it's you, Dave Rothenberg, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
I would say it's you.
All right, Rick, what would you say? The most immature person on the show, including Ray and RJ.
I think it's me, and I don't even think it's close.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I said it's me. RJ said he's not sure. He said it could be him. No one even uttered the words Rick DiPietro.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. By the way, funnest is a word, just so you know.
What?
Wow.
Funnest is a word.
Where'd you get this from?
I got a beautiful tweet from one of our fantastic listeners.
I got to look this up. Funnest is a word?
Yep.
This has burgle vibes all over it.
There is zero chance I would burgle a house.
Just let me know when you want to apologize.
If it's fast enough, I would.
You'll let it breathe for a second?
I'll wait.
Is it? Funnest is a word?
Yep.
No.
Yeah. Just looked it up in Webster Dictionary. This is the tweet.
This
Funnest
is from
is a word.
Wiktionary.org. While funnest is a regular superlative of the adjective fun, only morons use it. The superlative most fun is much more common and is way more appropriate. I don't do
Much
a lot
more
of things
common.
well.
Funnest is a word. Webster's Dictionary.
You don't want to use funnest.
Funnest is a word.
I'm looking at for you. You walk in there and you say, listen, I want to have the funnest birthday party for my 6-year-old. They're going to raise the prices. They're going to think you're an idiot. Hey, you're a loser. Don't do it.
No,
But
like
Dave, that's a very different thing than saying that it's actually not a word.
See, yeah, that's what I'm
fair
talking
enough.
about.
Yeah.
But it's like shrimps. If you look at the waiter, he's like, yeah, let me get the shrimps cocktail. You sound like a fool.
Let me have them steak and shrimps.
Shrimps is in fact a word, but you don't want to be that guy.
I don't know if I put shrimps in the same level as funnest.
Shrimps is a word now. So is fishes. You know why they made these words? Because people were so dumb that they used them that they had no choice but to make them into words.
No, we didn't think that burgle was going to catch on the way that burgle has. Who knows?
Burgle's
Maybe
a
now
big
funnest
word.
catches on.
There is zero chance I would burgle a house.
Yeah, I mean, if you'd be just so dismissive of my
Flippant,
my
really.
use of flippantly of the English language, knowing I'm a Harvard guy, disrespectful.
guy.
Yeah. You had to go all
This is
ipso
why-
facto
this
on
is-
him.
and you wonder why I love Cain, not you. This is the reason.
No, I don't wonder. I know you have this bizarre fetish with Michael Caine. Please, can we not open that door?
Han, by the way, on the right again. Try to guess what color shirt.
Blue.
Yep.
Has to be.
Every single time. I don't think he has another color in his closet. It's blue every time.
He's playing
every
to his
single
strengths, Rico. He's playing to his strengths.
Death,
Brings out
taxes,
the color in his eyes.
in a blue shirt.
Hinky Haynes chimes in. He says, Rick is immature with his crude middle school sense of humor, but he wouldn't throw a treadmill out the window and abandon his family because the Giants lost.
I
Or break
smashed
the wedding
treadmill
DVD.
through the
That's-
blind, through the window.
That's not even. I wouldn't even say that's immature. That's deranged. I mean, that's.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
I didn't throw the
immature.
treadmill
sickness with
through the
Rothenberg.
window, by the way.
You terrorize your
out.
family.
Let's not bury the lead. It wasn't. It was a regular season game that you left.
Yeah, Chargers.
This wasn't. I mean, this wasn't England losing in penalties.
No.
This was Dave Rothenberg regular season game. Okay, I'm out.
That's right.
I'm gonna go stay at this beautiful hotel. You guys can stay at the house.
That's right.
Room
You got
service. I mean, you name it.
You got it.
Spa treatment.
I don't do the spa.
What do you mean you didn't do the spa? You're there by
didn't
yourself. You didn't get a massage at least.
Didn't.
Wow.
I wanted to punish myself. I was eating like fried chicken.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You get mashed potatoes with the fried chicken in it.
I don't remember exactly what I had. The menu was
Multiple
not
cream
exactly
cheeses?
the important piece of the story. Love bacon.
That's a very important piece of the story. I mean, what you ate that night, that's...
So whether or not I had mashed potatoes sends you in a different belief of this story?
No, not belief. I just maybe a better appreciation. Like, I want to know how badly you punished yourself.
Oh, that was the donuts and fried chicken and you name it. It was not the funnest night I've ever had, I'll tell you that.
Was there any guilt?
Well played, Rothenberg.
Be honest,
Well
was there any
played.
guilt?
About doing that?
Yeah, in the moment. Was there any guilt at all?
In the moment, I don't know. In retrospect, yes.
So in the moment, no, nothing. Like this is
In
just
the moment, I think I kind of black out like Will Ferrell in Old School. But in retrospect, when I do these things, I have like, what? Come on, what are you doing? What are you doing?
It's a problem.
I poured vinegar on my wife's computer after a bad
I
loss.
still don't understand that.
Because she
Don't
was like,
get it.
oh, what do you want for dinner? I was like, dinner?
Yeah, I don't
What's the matter
understand
with
that.
you?
Why try to hurt your wife? She's trying to look out for you. She wanted to feed you.
Because she's there. That's why. That's what these animals do. The person closest to them, they're not nice to them in those moments of delusion.
That's what you are. I mean, you're like a wild animal
Yeah,
in a
it's terrible.
zoo. In a zoo, and Joe Exotic comes in to feed you and pet you, and you
That's
bite his
right.
arm off.
And I could eat his arm from the elbow down. You're right.
Like that lady that got her arm bit off. It was like no in the show. It was like no big deal.
Yeah, they're like, listen, you can get a credit if you want, or you could just make your way past the bloodstained area into the lines. That's right. That's exactly what I am. Yeah, but I haven't done anything like that in a very long time.
Well, that's because the Giants have been bad. Just wait. This could be the year it all goes back to normal.
I hope so.
Your lips to God's ears, bro.
Oh God, I can't deal.
We
with
need
another-
it. We
Can you
need it.
imagine? And they have an extra week if they're like 4-13 or something. Ugh.
Nothing I can do. First down. Oh my
Speaking
God.
of the Giants, I know. I mean, the whole Andrew Thomas pick was kind of like, I don't know if we were all on board with
the worst of the first round offensive lineman. Yeah,
he's going to talk about Tristan Wirfs, right?
Have you seen that video of Tristan Wirfs?
Yep.
the 48-inch static box jump with the weight vest
on him.
And he weighs 345 pounds.
But Rico, why should we be surprised? We saw this guy jump out of a pool. He jumped out of a swimming pool.
I don't even like jumping in the pool.
No, the kids are in the pool and it's not that warm. I'm having a hard time. Like the older I get,
that's not easy.
It's not fun.
Not easy. Teddy Paredes tweets in, what would Dave have done if Norwood hit the field goal? I mean, my life would be completely different.
Yeah, that's one of those moments. Like if you go back, like that was a fork in the road.
Oh,
they could have taken a real.
I jumped very high after he missed that field goal.
Like Martin Gramatica high.
Yeah, well, I didn't tear an ACL. I touched the ceiling at my parents' house, though.
Those aren't high ceilings.
I don't know.
I can't imagine your vertical jump is very impressive.
Back in the day, I could get up.
No, you can't.
Back in the day, I could get up. I was skinny.
Chance.
I was
probably mean. I get plenty of skinny guys.
I was
that don't
probably
have good
5'11", 167. I was lean. I was skinny. I was athletic. I had it all going on. What you see now is not what it was back then.
Didn't that depress you a little bit? Like, can't we get back to that? Let's get back to
trying.
Lean, mean Dave Rothenberg.
I'm trying. I had grilled chicken for dinner last night. I'm trying.
You're going to need some HGH for that, Rico.
Yeah, he's going to need some hormone therapy.
Yeah.
Let's get you on some hormone therapy,
in the world.
Why don't we do that? A little HGH.
What would that do?
Well, I mean, this is when you're almost 50, so I mean, your HGH levels are naturally lower now.
Yeah.
I like to nap. So if I take HGH, then what? I just lose weight?
No, it'll enhance your workouts. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, you recover better.
Enhance your workouts, better recovery, better metabolism, that kind of thing.
You saw Frank Thomas and Doug Flutie?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Those are some bad commercials, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, they're not great.
Awful commercials. When they come out with the tuxes on, I mean, it looks like they borrowed someone's shirt. They're bad.
Yeah, not great.
Those are not great.
Lonnie says, I think Dave is the most immature, especially when he gets his little violin out. But Rico, very immature as well, but in a way that you just have to love. I love both because they're members of my family, and I love their immaturity. Canty's the only sane one. I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I think Chris is by far the most sane of the three of us.
Yeah, he's the adult in the room, I would say, yeah.
You ever shake your head at us, Chris? Just like, come on.
No, I actually enjoy it, actually. I really enjoy it. I love it. I love it, especially when you two guys go at it. I just want to sit back and get my popcorn.
Wait till you see Canty at RJ's wedding, though. Then you'll see. Then the immaturity comes out.
I don't know if you're going to see that version of me, Rico. I'm going to have the wifey with me.
Oh, that's fine. We'll get her all banged up, too.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be like that. I don't know if she'll let me go off the rails like I typically would.
I'll make you guys go visit Gordon in the corner. With the
he's going to be rolling cannabis in the corner.
He's got the CBD oil.
Meth lab.
He's got some gummies over there.
I mean, God, if we had the depravity of everyone at the station, that would be some wedding, huh? Don would be cooking up meth in the corner. Gordon would be having a parlay center there with a cannabis treat. I'd be having a blackjack table. God knows what Rick would be doing. Canty would be working on passing drills with everyone.
I've dropped acid. I've taken meth.
Oh, my God. Wow.
I love K's reaction.
Could you imagine that, though? And then poor K sitting there. He'd be on the phone with the cops the whole night.
I know. I'm telling you, the Santillo wedding. Get here now. It's out of control.
Hi, this is an anonymous caller from the RJ Santillo wedding again.
That's right.
We have a man that's dropped acid and now taking mesk.
Arm hair is all over the place.
Yes. Somebody is Johnny Appleseed, arm hair all over the wedding.
There's arm hair all over the wedding. The dance floor. Officers, hurry. Why? There's arm hair all over the dance floor.
Somebody's shedding at the wedding.
Yes. I think there's an animal at the wedding. A wildebeest has gotten loose.
I can't wait for this wedding now.
Oh, I can't wait.
This is going to be good. This is going to be real good. RJ, just let me know when you figure all that stuff out so I can really get into where I need to be.
Am I going to be mentioned during the nuptials, RJ?
No, you won't be mentioned. But I'll tell you what, Rick, if there were ever any doubts about his level of preparedness, what he sent me yesterday, like a 26-page document.
26 pages.
Yeah, a lot of options.
So what do you have to fill out paperwork now so we really get to know you better?
No, it's very personalized. There's a lot of options. It's like an option offense. There's a lot of trust.
Yeah, it's like choose your own adventure.
Yeah, that people are going to be in the right places.
This is not going to be one of these hour-plus ceremonies, is it?
No.
Oh, those are the worst.
Minutes. Like 58 minutes.
Yeah, 55 tops.
Yeah, I'll do the. I'll have the holy oil, the chism. I'll bring out maybe some incense.
Holy oil.
No, this is going to take. This will be 15 minutes. 15 minutes max.
Good.
Then we'll release the doves. It'll be beautiful.
Are there going to be doves?
No, there's not going to be doves. We'll paint some pigeons. We'll dye. We'll bleach some pigeons.
How about we have a dolphin pool?
No, how about this? How about we get that lady from the corner of 66 with her pigeons, and we have her release the flock of pigeons.
The pigeons in the corner.
Yes,
as Don does meth. Be perfect.
Thanks for listening to the DiPietro, Canty, and Rothenberg podcast.
I don't wake up at 4 a.m. to wear a swim shirt.
Looking for more access to the show? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at DCR on ESPN.
I don't know who gave you this misinformation, by the way, but I'm on Merriam-Webster's page. Funner and funnest have seen usage as real words for over a century, but neither are formally entered in the dictionary. In fact, fun wasn't even an adjective describing something enjoyable until the 19th century. And from there, its superlative forms eventually emerged to be argued over. Funner, funnest, not words.
No, wrong.
No, I'm not wrong.
Says fun adjective, sometimes funner, sometimes funner.
I'm on the Merriam-Webster site.
I'm looking at it right now. Sometimes funner, sometimes funnest.
No.
Yep. I guess we'll agree to disagree.
I'm sorry to tell you that funner, not a word. And you should be better than that. Got into Harvard. They're probably throwing up all over themselves right now. We let this guy in. Embarrassing. All right, RJ, let's bring you into the mix. How are you?
I'm dandy. I appreciate this language lesson here from all of you, but
he's going to need undercover cops at his wedding now.
They're gonna probably raid the wedding on their own.
Right.
What do we have going on here? Where's Don?
Just a little Breaking Bad action in the corner. Pay no attention to these guys.
Where's
Don's trying to peel his skin in the corner.
That's right. Don thinks he's an orange.
Well,
all right, so what do you got? Preseason Major League Baseball predictions. The perfect day to look back on these things.
Oh, my God.
All right, so I feel like the teacher here with the answer key. How do you think you guys have done thus far, based on memory?
Ain't great.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's done phenomenally.
Yeah.
All right, let's run through this real quick. We'll go through the American League.
Yep.
You guys all had the Yankees winning the East. They're in fourth place.
I'd like to change that now.
Can we change that?
So the Central, Dave took the Twins, as did Chris. Rick with the White Sox. The Twins are fourth place, 15 games back, which is hard to do.
All right, that's one. Rick is +1 at the moment.
Yeah, the White Sox are 8 games up.
Yep.
AL West. Dave, you took the A's. They're in second place, 3.5 games back of the Astros, who Rick and Chris both took, in first place. We'll run through the playoff picture in the American League real quick. Dave, you had the Astros and the White Sox.
That's not bad.
No, not bad at all. 2 first-place teams. Rick, you had the Twins, who are not doing well, and the Rays, who are in one of the wild card spots.
Nice.
And Chris, you took the Blue Jays, 4.5 games back, and the White Sox, who are in first place in their division. Not bad. In the ALCS, Dave, you had the Yankees and the A's. Rick, you had the Yanks and the White Sox. Chris, Yankees, White Sox as well. So, Dave, your AL MVP, actually all of you took Mike Trout, who was having a heck of a season before he got hurt on May 17th. It's been a while.
And that's Ohtani's already, right? They're going to give that to him tomorrow, probably.
Yeah.
Trout was having one of his best seasons, too.
Yeah,
He's amazing.
333, 8 homers, 18 RBIs through mid-May. So really just a few weeks into the season. Dave, your AL Cy Young was the same as Rick's. Garrett Cole, 9-4, 2.68 ERA. So
not terrible.
You got a chance.
Yeah, but we had no idea they were going to get rid of the sticky stuff. That's not
right.
on us.
Had we known that, we would have gone in a different direction, I imagine.
Chris took Lucas Giolito. Not having a bad year.
Not great, though.
7-6, 4.15 ERA. AL Rookie of the Year, Dave. Ryan Mountcastle. 14 homers, 48 ribbies.
That's right. That's what I do.
Rick, Randy Arozarena. 10 homers, 41 ribbies, batting .251, and Chris, do you remember who you took?
No.
Jared Kelenic.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's
unfortunate.
Oh, that's a big L.
He was
there,
trolling
yeah.
us.
That's exactly what he was doing.
Who's
That's
batting
what was happening.
096 in 83.
Dear God.
And he's in the minors now.
He's no longer a major leaguer, correct?
Good.
Mountcastle is one of the most underrated names in sports.
Phenomenal name.
Moving on to the National League East. A couple of you took the Braves. That would be Rick and Dave. They are in third place, 4 games back. Chris took the Mets. They're in first, 3.5 games up. The Central. Chris and Rick took the Cardinals. They're in fourth place.
That doesn't look great.
No, 8 games back. Dave took the Brewers.
Oh, yeah.
4 games up right now.
That's right.
Over to the West. The Dodgers were the selection of all of you. Second place, 2 games back right now. So we will see of the surprising Giants. National
Dodgers got some issues. I mean, that whole Trevor Bauer thing.
Especially with Bauer, yeah.
Well, I don't know if he pitches for them again.
Yeah, I don't think he does.
You guys all had the Padres in one of your wild card spots. They are the second wild card right now, so good job there. As for the other wild card spot, Dave and Rick took the Mets.
So that's good shape. We're in good shape. We got playoff teams.
And Chris took the Braves, unfortunately. The NLCS, Dodgers Padres for Dave, could happen. Rick, Dodgers Braves, not looking so good. And Dodgers Mets from Chris, which also could happen.
That's a good one.
Chris, that looks good.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Staying with Chris, picked Jacob deGrom for the NL MVP and the NL Cy Young. You guys all took deGrom for the NL Cy Young. As for the other 2 NL MVP selections, Dave, Christian Yelich, who's missed quite a bit of time and not in the race, and Rick,
I was looking good too.
Acuna, you were in it.
I was looking good too.
24 homers, 52 ribbies, but he's out for the year.
God.
And NL Rookie of the Year, Dave, Brian Hayes, and Rick also with Brian Hayes. 262, 4 homers, 18 ribbies. Dylan Carlson was Chris's selection, hitting 258, 7 homers, 31 ribbies. Not bad. World Series predictions, finally. You guys all had some machination of the Dodgers and Yankees. Dave and Rick took the Dodgers over the Yankees. Probably not looking so great right now. And Chris, definitely not looking so great, took the Yankees over the Dodgers. But we'll see. We will see.
Very well done, RJ. That was a fun little segment there.
I'm disgusted.
It's embarrassing, our predictions.
I'm
No,
disgusted.
why? Some of them are really well done. I don't think
we had
it's
some good
embarrassing.
ones. I mean, the Twins are terrible. I mean,
That's a bad pick. I also took the. There was some that I had. I took the Brewers. That's a good pick.
That's a great pick.
So I have some awful ones. I took Yelich to an MVP. Is brutal. You know what's amazing to me? The Giants have the best record in the National League, right?
Yeah.
And do the Red Sox have the best record in the American League?
The Red Sox are 55 and 36, and the Astros are 55 and 36.
So tied 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the 2 best records in baseball, not one of us even considered taking either of those 2 teams.
Oh, I took Houston.
No.
For the World Series?
Red Sox or the Giants.
Yeah.
For the World Series?
Just to do anything.
Oh, just in general.
To do anything,
the division, the wild card, the playoffs, anything. None of us even...
Not even honorable mention, Dave. Not even honorable mention. Like, no consideration for the Red Sox or the Giants.
Look at you. I took the Astros. That's not what I'm saying.
No, but that's the crazy part about baseball, though. That's when you ask the question about the Yankees, like in the second half, and all these guys underachieving. Like, sometimes that just happens in baseball where, I mean, you'll just have, a handful of your guys just don't have good seasons at the same time. And you'll have years where, like the Red Sox right now, I mean, look at the All-Star roster. I mean, Devers is having a great year. Bogarts is having a great year. J.D. Martinez is having a great year. I mean, their closer's having a great year. I mean, you name it. Like they're just having one of those years where guys are having really good years.
But that's why it's so important, Rico, to win it when you got an opportunity to win it.
That's right.
The 2 years prior to the pandemic for the Yankees, when you're flirting with 100 wins every single time, like those are the times you got to capitalize on being able to get it done. And the fact that we haven't gotten over that hump and now seeing what they're doing this year, it's just like, I don't know, man. It feels like that championship window that Brian Cashman talked about back in 2017 is closing fast. And I don't know how they keep it open.
Well, they have to make the playoffs.
These next 2 weeks are enormous.
Yeah, they're humongous.
Humongous for them.
Rick, right now they're being projected as having a 14% chance of making the playoffs. 14%.
And what was it to start the season? It was in the 90s, right?
Yeah, I want to say, I don't know if it was that high. It was like, it was up there. It was up there. To make the playoffs, it was up there. It was high. I don't know how they've fallen so fast, so quickly.
I mean, you name it. I mean, there's a bunch of problems. I mean, offense has been bad.
Chapman is now unpitchable.
You can't pitch Chapman.
Right? I mean, you can't put him on the mound.
No, I mean, you have some spots during this. I mean, your rotation's still a little bit up in the air.
Your win-loss record with Cole on the mound is not impressive.
Nope. But that's why that loss was so important, though, because we spent that whole show yesterday talking about how bad that loss was as opposed to, what you saw in the first two games.
Of course. Well, we had to.
Because Cole was as good as
the best start of the season.
Been.
Best start of the season.
129 pitches.
Baseball.
I mean, come on.
Yep, that would have been the conversation yesterday. 3 hours of how great that sweep was. They're back. They're 3.5 games out. They're in really good shape, and it took all of the wind out of your sails.
Yeah, but just think about that too. Like, you got Judge doing what he's doing, then Sanchez, and you got Odor. Had you won that game and swept them, and they scored 2 runs the entire series, you'd be like, oh. Look at the confidence.
You know what the conversation would have been? Not to win the division, but you don't want any part of the Yankees. You don't want any part of this team. They're starting to get hot.
Yeah, they're starting to look like, they believe. Like, they look like the big bad Yankee. Like, they're starting to, they're starting to turn this thing around a little bit, and then it's no.
Doesn't feel like it now. All right, let's move on. 800-919-3776. Rick is ready to run point. It's a little segment we like to call CMT.
To cuddle.
Tell you what, Rico, I can chase him down. I'll hold him down for you.
To marry.
I don't want to give up the meat.
Or to trash.
I think I'm emotionally broken.
That is the question.
All right, fellas, here we go. Since we were just talking about the Yankees, we'll start with the Yankees. So, headed into the second half, the biggest impediment for the Yankees to qualify for the postseason is going to be Chapman in the bullpen, the starting rotation, or your lineup. Chapman in the bullpen, your rotation, or your lineup.
Chris, you want to lead off here?
Sure, Dave. I'll lead off. Being a Yankees fan on the show, I am going to marry the lineup being the biggest impediment. Listen, 23rd in run scores ain't going to get it done. And as pleasant a surprise as the starting rotation has been for the majority of the first half, I just feel like this team was built on offense. And if your offense ain't scoring runs, then you're going to have a hard time being able to win baseball games, regardless of what your rotation does, regardless of how good your bullpen is. So I'm going to marry the lineup. I am going to cuddle the starting rotation, and I'm going to trash the bullpen.
All right. So it was the bullpen, or it was Chapman, Rick, for the last one?
No, Chapman in the bullpen. He's a big piece of the bullpen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna marry the lineup as well, but I'm not gonna have you perform the wedding. I will tell you that. I will agree with Chris across the board, and then I'll go cuddle with the starters and trashing Chapman and the bullpen.
Yeah, that's boring. All right, moving along.
Well, maybe the question just wasn't good enough.
No,
to
I think that's
fantastic
question.
Answers.
I think it's a terrific question.
Call us out as boring.
All right, here we go. So you had Team USA lose again, this time to Australia. So they're 0-2 now as they prepare for the Summer Olympics.
No, not
is this a big deal? Is it a huge deal? Or is it just relax?
I'm going to marry relax. I can't believe that when we get to the Olympics that amount of talent is going to be losing to the Australians. I just don't believe that. So I'm going to marry relax. I'm going to, if I marry relax, I got to cuddle a big deal, and I have to trash a huge deal. Although I will be honest with you, I'm not happy. Even exhibition that they're losing to these teams.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with Dave a little bit on this one. I am going to marry it being a little deal. And although I do think Team USA will turn it on in a couple of weeks when we're talking about them being in Tokyo and in the Olympics, I mean, you're talking about Team USA with professional basketball players going 10,000 days before they got 2 more losses. So I I don't think that it's one of those situations where they're going to be as dominant as we saw that 92 Dream Team, just because I feel like the rest of the world is caught up in terms of the level of basketball that they play. So I'm going to marry it being a little deal. I'll cuddle, relax, and I'll trash it being a big deal.
All right, well done. All right, here we go. So Canty was on with KJZ yesterday, went back and forth with Keyshawn about Aaron Rodgers. So we're getting closer and closer here. So I'll ask you guys this.
8 weeks, 5 days. Yeah.
Does Aaron Rodgers come back and play for Green Bay? Does he sit out, or does he get what he wants and gets traded?
Okay, I'm going to trash getting traded. I just don't see the incentive for the Packers to do that at this point. Like they're trading him for draft picks in 2022, so they don't have to be in a hurry to do that. So Aaron Rodgers is not going to get his wish with that aspect of this. I will marry him coming back and playing for the Packers, and I'll cuddle him sitting out.
All right, I'm going to marry that he plays. He's going to play. I just can't figure out why people think at 37 years old, and I get that he's unhappy with Green Bay, but at 37 years old, on a really good team, on a team that would be the prohibitive favorites to win that division, that Aaron Rodgers does not play. So I will marry he plays. I will cuddle that he's traded because I think he's going to play this year. I'd be stunned if he doesn't play, and that's the second best option there, is that he gets dealt and plays somewhere else, and I will trash that he sits. He talks a big game. At the end of the day, I think he suits up and plays somewhere, probably Green Bay in my mind.
All right, so Jalen Ramsey released his list of hardest wide receivers to cover.
Ooh.
He had DeAndre Hopkins, Odell Beckham Jr., and Julio Jones. Cuddle, marry, trash. Hardest to cover. Hopkins, Odell, or Julio Jones.
All right. I'm going to marry... God, they're so good. Julio Jones. He's just a different level. He's enormous. He's got speed. He's so good. I'll marry Julio. I will cuddle DeAndre Hopkins, and solely because I don't like the way it played out with him and the New York Football Giants, I will trash. And he's coming off injury. Trash one Odell Beckham Jr.
So we got more disagreement here. I'm going to marry DeAndre Hopkins. I just think in terms of playing the position with a level of precision, he's head and shoulders above the other two guys that are on this list. I mean, just the route running, his alignments, his release. DeAndre Hopkins, to me, is unbelievable when it comes to the nuance of playing wide receiver in the NFL. I will cuddle Julio Jones. I mean, he's a freak show. Julio Jones looks like an edge rusher playing wide receiver. It's freak of nature. I mean, I don't know how many other adjectives I can use to describe what Julio Jones is. And then as far as Odell goes, I'm not going to trash him and be disrespectful like Dave. I will politely discard Odell Beckham, even though he's one of the most explosive players in the NFL. Coming off of that knee injury, we have to take a wait-and-see approach.
All right, we got two more, so make this quick. So we saw the home run derby. Pete Alonso, just the third player to go back-to-back in the home run derby. Yeah, Ken Griffey Jr. did it, and Cespedes did it. So I'm going to ask you guys this. Large sum of your own money. You get to pick who you're putting your money on. I'll give you Pete Alonso, Ken Griffey Jr., and Barry Bonds in a home run derby.
Oh, God.
Oh, my gosh. I got to... Listen, I know you guys are going to feel a way about this. I got to marry the king, man. I got to marry Barry Bonds. I got to marry Barry Bonds. And I know he got caught up in the PED scandal, the steroids and Balco, all of that stuff. But he can hit the hell out of a baseball. And he could do that since the moment that we saw him in the big league. So I'm going to marry Barry Bonds in a home run derby. I will cuddle Ken Griffey Jr., one of my favorite players all time. And then I will, again, politely discard Pete Alonso.
All right, I'd like a follow-up question, Your Honor. What Barry Bonds do I have competing in this home run derby?
San Francisco Giants Barry Bonds.
Okay, thank you. then I will agree across the board. And I don't like what you've done. You've put me in a position where I have to trash Pete Alonso, which I think is really unfair. But you have him going up against, two of the greatest home run hitters, maybe the two greatest home run hitters in the history of the game. So I will marry Bonds, I will cuddle Griffey, and I'm not trashing Pete, but I'm opening the can and I'm gently putting him in.
Now you disgust me. All right, last one.
Where would you have gone with that?
Oh, Ken Griffey Jr. is number one for me. He's my favorite player of all time.
All
right, so here we go. AFC. We went NFC, most pressure on the quarterbacks. AFC, most pressure this upcoming season on these quarterbacks. Carson Wentz, Tua in Miami, or Cam in New England. Most pressure this season.
Oh, wow.
Wentz, Cam, or Tua?
I wanted to add, can we add somebody to this list?
We can add a fourth.
Roethlisberger should be on this list, shouldn't he?
Nah, I mean, he's done. I don't know how much pressure's on him.
All right. Okay. I'm going to start with my trash. I'm going to trash Cam Newton. I don't have tremendous expectations for him. And if he doesn't play well, they have a quarterback waiting in the wings to take over. So I will trash Cam. I will cuddle Carson Wentz. He's got an ideal situation. They have an elite offensive line. They have a good running game. I think that he will play well, but if he doesn't, they haven't invested a ton in Carson Wentz. I'm going to marry Tua. I mean, every time you watch Justin Herbert, every time you watch Joe Burrow, every time you watch these quarterbacks, you're going to think to yourself, boy, Tua, same class, could have been a Miami Dolphin, and now he's playing down with that team. He's got to be better than he was last year, certainly. So I think there's a ton of pressure on Tua. I will marry him in this equation.
Yeah, I'm going to agree across the board with Dave. And just to add on to that, the Dolphins trading down from 3 to get extra draft capital for future years, I think that adds to the pressure that Tua's facing, just because if he's not good, the Dolphins will have the ammunition to be able to move up to get a quarterback. So, yeah, I think he's got the most pressure on him of any quarterback in the AFC. And Carson Wentz is a close second.
All right, there you go, boys. Tuesday edition, Cuddle, Marry, Trash.
I got to be honest. You do a really nice job with Cuddle, Marry, Trash.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
I got to be honest. You do.
Would you say it's the funnest segment we do?
I would say that you do it with great enjoyment and great deals of fun. But funnest is not something I would say.
It's a terrific word.
It's not a word.
Oh, it's a word. On this show, it's a word.
Get a linguist on the show.
I'm a cunning linguist. I've done what I came to done.
But a legitimate linguist on the show, and they would want no part of funnest.
Yeah, hold on. Let me check my phone. Hold on. What is it? Let me find my contact list. Linguist. I don't have one. Do you?
You don't. You know what? I'm sure that there's a linguist listening to the show right now. Please call in and tell us if you would ever use the word funnest in public.
Thanks for listening to the DiPietro, Canty, and Rothenberg podcast.
I have nothing left.
Hear more of DiPietro, Canty, and Rothenberg live weekday mornings from 5 to 8 a.m. on 98.7 ESPN in New York, the ESPN app, the TuneIn app, or on your smart speaker.
Hey Alexa, play ESPN New York 98.7.